Hi, DASA families. This is Mrs. Betancourt, and today myself and Mrs. McBriar have teamed up, and we would like to show you step by step how to get into a Google Meet. We're going to be using Google Meet for our parent-teacher conferences in November or this month, and we want to show you how you can find where your meet is scheduled, how to get into the meet, and how to use it so that way you can have your virtual parent-teacher conferences. So right now I have just opened up the Google Chrome web browser. Now there's multiple ways to get into your meet. The first one I'd like to show you is your student's email. Each student has their own @monitaud.org email account. This can be found by going to the waffle in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. And Gmail is the email that we use. It is a red M with a white background, kind of looks like an envelope. Once it loads, you can check for an invitation to a meeting. I have one here from Mrs. McBriar, who's playing the role of the teacher for our parent-teacher conference while I am the parent. And I'm going to click on this invitation. And here is an invitation to a parent-teacher conference being held today at 11 a.m. And I can see who scheduled it. I can also, if I receive this email ahead of time, I can confirm that yes, I am able to attend this meeting, and that lets the teacher know that I am planning on attending. Information down here includes who else will be attending the meeting, the organizer being the teacher, and then myself. If you have more than one teacher attending your parent-teacher conference, you'll see their names here. Then the joining info is the most important. This is how you will join with Google Meet. The link is right here. There is also a join by phone if you are having issues with connecting with a computer, but if you are using your student's laptop and Google account, you should not have any issues with that. So this is way one to get in. I'm going to click on the link, and it'll pop up that it's getting ready. You'll be able to join in just a moment. My camera will start up. Now my microphone is on by default for small meetings, so I can turn the mic on and off as needed. I can also turn camera on and off as needed, but I need them on for my meeting. It's just going to be me and the teacher. I've made sure I have a nice background. There's no distractions, and I am ready to focus on the meeting. So now sometimes it says here, no one else is here. If your teacher's already here that you're meeting with, they'll be listed here. Join now will take me in. And there I am. I am in to the meeting. Now, I'm not quite sure where Mrs. McBriar is right now, but she would be here. I can still change my microphone if it was somehow off. I can change my screen to make sure my camera's off. When I am ready to end the meeting, I click the microphone. Oh, there's Mrs. McBriar.
Sorry, I was in the wrong Google Meet.
She was in the one she created earlier, and this is the proper one. So that might happen sometimes too. There might be technical difficulties.
We completely understand.
So this is just way one to get in by going through your student's Gmail account. Now to end the call, I'm going to click on down here. I move my mouse down and the white bar appears at the bottom, and I can click the red phone hanging up that says leave call. So we're going to leave now because we have two other ways we can go in. So we'll be back to see Mrs. McBriar in a moment. So bye for now. All right. So if I accidentally hung up, I can rejoin the meeting. So that is an option. I'm going to go ahead and close this one. So going through the email is one. You should have an invitation when your child's teacher sends that out. Now, another way to go in If the email gets deleted or lost, another way is to once again to go to that waffle. Just go back into my email because the waffle was right there. Apologies for the load. All right, the waffle's still up in the corner, Google Apps, as we call it. And this time I'm looking for the Google Calendar. It should be blue and say 31. Now, in the Google Calendar, it also has my invites and things. Now, mine's a little busier because I also have what letter day it is and what day of our schedule it is. But if I click on the day for 12, I can go down and find my parent-teacher conference link. And here's the same information we just saw in the email. Once again, we see 2 guests, myself, Mrs. McBriar, the join by phone, and we can join with the button here instead of clicking the link. This will immediately take me back to that getting ready screen. Once again, my camera will start up. I can see my camera. Remember, I can adjust my microphone or camera as needed, and join call now. So this is way 2 to get in. Here we are again. Success. This time, since we were talking about how to bring up that bar to adjust microphone, your child's teacher may need to send you a link or something. In the upper right next to the time, there's a little speech bubble that says, with some lines, it says chat with everyone. That is the way to bring up the chat feature. So that way, if your child's teacher needs to send you a link to a website, a document, or if you're having trouble with sound, they can say there, maybe your mic's off or different things like that. Oops, the link's wrong. You forgot the N. Oh, the U, sorry. I thought it was an N. No, you're missing the U. So, and if the chat's annoying, you can always use the X to get rid of it. And only when it pops up that you have a new message, you can click on it to see what it is. The chat feature is really nice for things like that. So we're once again going to click our little phone to hang up, and there's one more way to get into our parent-teacher conference. So we'll leave Mrs. McBriar again. Bye again. And once again, if you forgot and hit the wrong button and need to rejoin the meeting, it's quite simple. Sometimes internet may kick you off. We understand. You can join right back up. All right, so that was the Google Calendar way. We've done Gmail, Google Calendar. Now the last way is to go through just Google Meet itself. So for that, we once again go to the waffle. If my waffle would open, there we go. And we're going to go down to this apostrophe, semicolon, not quite sure what to call it, but it's got a little white camera in it, and that is Meet. Now, this takes you actually into Google's app for Google Meet. In this way, if you have an invitation, it will also show up here. I'm kind of blocking it with my screen. But if you need to join or start a meeting and have the code, you can put it in. Or if it just invited you, you have your link right here to join. So I can click on that. Once again, it takes me back to the getting ready screen, starting my camera, starting my microphone, and it shows that I am ready to join the meeting. So now I join now. And she gets a beep knowing I'm coming in to the meeting. And there she is. Now, there is a possibility your teacher, see, she sent us a message, so it pops up behind me there. I can also click up here if I missed it popping up. I can see that she sent us, welcome back. Mrs. McBriar, can you show us what it might look like if a teacher decides to share their screen?
Sure. Let me move this out of the way. All right, so I have a button at the bottom of my screen that says present. If I find it, I'm going to click on that. Let me see, I can do present my entire screen. I'll choose to share my screen, and I can open, let's see, I'm going to open the monitor. Oh, for some reason it took off Walmart, I don't know why.
Now, sometimes your signal won't be as nice as you can see on my end. Mrs. McBriar's kind of lagging a tiny bit, but we can still hear her. So that is not a problem. Now, the teacher can also share the screen if they have something they need to show you, possibly an example of student work, grades, a website, anything like that.
Yeah. So here, this is a website. If we wanted to share, we could. And like Mrs. Betancourt said, if there's student work that you would want to share, or that the teacher would want to share, they could. I don't have anything that I can show to you as an example, but if there was something in Google Docs or Google Slides, that is a possibility. Or if there is a resource website that a teacher would want to walk a parent through, they could do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna hit my stop presenting button.
Okay. Just a reminder, when you are in a Google Meet, before we wrap this up, when you're meeting with your child's teacher, make sure you have a nice background or somewhere in your house that is not going to be a distraction. Be aware of your surroundings. You might also want to try and find a quiet place. Maybe since your children would be home during the parent-teacher conference day, maybe in a different room away from the television, a place with a strong signal, and minimize distractions so that way you can have an optimum conversation between you and your child's teacher.
Did you talk about if there are multiple teachers participating? I know that oftentimes parents will, if a student has more than one teacher, like I'm thinking like 4th, 5th, 6th grade, where all of those people could meet at one time. Did you talk about that at all?
I did say there might be multiple teachers in the interview, like in the invite, sorry, not interview, invite.
Okay.
If there is more than one person on screen, if whoever's talking usually becomes the one of focus.
Right. Also, and I'm sure Mrs. Betancourt mentioned this, but if you do find that the dog starts to bark or the baby's upset, you can always press the microphone button to mute yourself.
And remember, that's right down here. Once you move the mouse, it should automatically pop up, and I can mute myself if my background noise becomes too much for a moment.
Right.
All right. I believe that is all the tips we have, so I'm going to leave the Google Meet as well. My parent-teacher conference is over with the teacher, so I can leave the call, and then I will say goodbye to you guys. I hope this video was very helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us and anyone at the school, and we'd be quite happy to help you navigate this different way of doing parent-teacher conferences. All right, bye.